It's pretty cheap, and it's great with Brew Split anyways, but still, you almost always prioritize like Ag's Refresher, so his build will probably be the same as long as he has a good laning stage.
How likely do you think that he's going to have any difficulties with it? Because I feel like there's not too much. Like, an IO is great in terms of being able to provide that sustain, but it's not going to be able to provide that much in terms of like harass and push away.
Exactly, but it is going to get more mana to Chaos Knight. In fact, they're already getting some good damage into Zephyr. This looks really bad for him.
Yeah, it's not looking great unless you're an OG fan, because that is the first blood, so.
Yeah, that's really cool to see the rotation. I mean, they already had Observer Wards spotting the T1 position, so they could basically plan for this, right? Chaos Knight IO swing in with their 344 movement speed against Shadow Shaman 285, and then they just needed to bring They probably could have gotten him without him, but as long as Taiga doesn't die in the next 90 seconds, this really doesn't hurt OG much at all, other than getting Amar slightly more zoned for the first wave. So should be completely fine, and with First Blood going to CK, better chance that they can actually zone and shut down Cuckoo as well.
Julius Adversalo, magandang gabi,
That's exactly what we're seeing now.
Nalate na tayo ng kaunti.
Taking advantage of the fact that it does not have that laning partner.
T1 versus OG.
Getting in a couple clicks and making sure that they can get this farm for the CK.
Yeah, he also got Cinder Brew, which means that this skill is just not even good unless it's paired with a nuke. So he's got a Cinder Brew, then Zephyr has to use his nuke. It means he can't last hit with Thunderclap, so this is going to hurt Cuckoo's last hits by a little bit too. It won't be the end of the lane or anything, but he'll probably miss, 3 to 4 more last hits. Or maybe like 2 until he gets level 2.
Otherwise, we're just seeing the basic scrapping back and forth, but like you said, it does have that extra bit of mana regen, so they are really punishing Cuckoo here in this top lane and bullying Zephyr, so.
Well, Amaro in a little bit of trouble bottom, but that's the other issue, is that he's got to deal with the decay from Undying, but they've done a good job harassing Whitemon down as well. He's salving with 16 strength stacks. That's not going to feel too good. When those run out, he won't get quite as much HP, but good damage.
Try to make a play, but again, they do have that Ink Swell coming out from Taiga, so they'll turn it right back around over onto Whitemon. He's fairly tanky, though, as, all right, they do get the kill on Cuckoo here in the top lane.
Yeah. I'm frankly just not surprised. Again, they're going to be able to stabilize Yuragi here with the IO, and they're just going to throw a lot of stuns, get a lot of harassment on their opponents. The only thing that's really weird is Seb's playing IO. That's not.
That is very strange.
A new thing for them, but cool to see. And yeah, he should be able to pair nicely. He's got the attention. I'm sure he's going to know. You have to know a lot about like where your opponents are likely to be. That way you can better position for relocate saves and things like that. So I'm sure his game sense is going to be up to snuff. Mechanically, playing IO is not that difficult once you learn some tricks. And one last thing is the really interesting thing. One of the interesting things Seb said yesterday is that we've got Misha and our coach also helping us. So it's like they have like 3 coaches in this tournament. It's so many bodies to watch replays and do homework. That's really going to help OG a lot in the group stage.
Well, I think what's also very interesting when we had our interview with him was he was saying, oh, 1 second, Gabby, okay, gets a little rip here, gonna give him a little bit more health. They turn their attention over onto Whitemon, just continue to just throw out this harass, this broken phase, the crush, everything. One more hit will do the trick, and that's a dead Whitemon. Just still gonna poke away at Gabby a little bit, but not a lot of mana left over here over on Amar, so.
Yep,
back to hitting creeps.
He has to get 2 points Dragon Blood for sure because of the
Pero
high armor
yung,
and
the
regen that he's
May
going to
shaman.
I mean, Slardar is a
Maganda
lane
yung draft
winner,
nito ng
and it is
T1.
one of Amar's specialties.
Yeah, we watched him do quite a bit of work the
Magandang
other day
gabi.
where he played the Slardar. But
T1 ako dito,
go back to
T1.
that interview, like we're
Maganda
talking
draft nila.
about,
Talo sa
Seb was
function
saying,
ng shaman,
the comp is
Undying.
fairly quiet. Like they just, this team is one of those teams that
Pero
really
lalambot sila sa kasi SD.
stand-in. It's kind of interesting.
Ito rin doon.
no.
Ito na
Yeah,
yung combo.
okay, all right, not gonna be able to land that ink swell. He'll be fine. But
Nakatakot
just,
yung Inkswell
fitting
na yan.
in with that, like, because they do have such a strong sense, right? Must be a little bit difficult when you're playing a character like Io, who has to be so in tune with your core.
Yeah, it can be important to make sure that you're on the same page. But again, I think it's going to be fine. Seb's played a lot of Dota games. He's been a pub spammer from the beginning of Dota all the way until now. So if anybody can transition pretty rapidly into other roles, I think Seb is one of the better players for it, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and we saw that yesterday. I was just curious to see like how much of the instinct comes into play, right, when you're doing a hero like Io.
Yeah, for sure. My ally's dying. Press R, press mech, press wand. He'll be fine, I think. It's the relocate stuff is like really the scary, the harder skill.
A little bit of poking over on Carl in that mid lane, but very even for the most part. 22 and 5 over on Lina, Laguna, 22-1 on Storm.
It is. BZM had some really good games yesterday where he was getting solo kills on his mid-storm just at these right moments. You know, vortexing heroes under towers, picking off when he played against Yopaj, he did quite effectively in some of his games. So got to watch out for him.
Again in this top lane. Staying a bit low here, trying to make some moves over onto Seb, but Zephyr needs to be careful. He's sitting
Patay yata si
low
Zephyr
himself.
dito.
Gonna try to dodge into the tree line, but he's still most
Patay
likely going to
bottom.
fall. It's over in the bottom
Patay din si
lane.
White.
Whitemon not looking too great either. He'll be the next
Naku po,
victim, and the
grabe.
follow-up. Oh
Patay
dear,
yata.
this is looking
Grabe.
very bad now for T1. Gabby will also
0-6 ang ating score.
So let's talk
favor
again about T1's drafting style. They don't pick traditional carries because they think like, we're going to win the lanes and we're going to catapult that into like some semi-carries that don't make too many mistakes, and then eventually we win the game. They are now losing the lane pretty heavily. It's not like they're just dying a lot and they still have good net worth. They're losing net worth and kills right now. So things are not looking so great for T1. By all means, they had a great comeback yesterday against EG. They showed resiliency in a tough game, but Cuckoo pressure top again.
This top lane has absolutely been a
Grabe yung top
bloodbath.
lane.
They just constantly poking away at Cuckoo, either Zephyr as well, and just forcing him out of that lane where it's very, very difficult.
It is. Brewmaster's a hero that doesn't have that much lane sustain. Unless you go for a fast ring of health. Bottom
Boy,
lane, no.
again, Gabby, just there's so much lockdown coming out from here. Of course, use Dragon Tail Tiger
blocking.
trying to do some body block.
Oy.
With a little bit of that sprint
Baka
with
may
the
stun ulit
slow,
yan.
followed up with the crush. Needs a little bit more damage to do the trick for a bit of a tower dive. Gabby's trying to break these ankles, trying to break through the tree line, but is just
Oy.
getting
Gosh.
hunted down unmercifully here by
talaga,
Amar.
ikaw
They'll
sa
turn it,
dyan na
though.
si
They'll turn it into something
Nice
good.
one.
As Carl makes that rotation with the Laguna Blade, gets the kill, and
Well
punishes
played,
them
Carl,
for
well
that
played.
dive.
Actually, I think that was pretty worth it still. Obviously great for Carl's game, but bad for Dragonite. And Dragonite has to get a Blink Dagger to really unlock the game here
kawawa si
for
Coco dito.
T1. That is usually
Wala pa siyang
the
level
point.
6.
Cuckoo
Nagagak
running
siya
for his
dun
life
sa-
with Drunken Brawler there. When he uses Cinderbrew, 45% evasion is what he's working with. It is literally going to be his lifesaver this game against all of these right clickers on the OG side.
It is so necessary. I feel like they're constantly running at him over in that top lane.
They really are. They're running everywhere. They're running at him. This was a spike glyph just now. There's like 4 creeps that Gabby wanted to last hit with a breathe fire, and they just glyphed it. I don't know if it was actually good. I guess they have a catapult. That part's good.
Well, this is not looking too
Ito na
great
naman
here for
yung combo
Gabby
nila.
because there's a lot of people down here. They go land that stun. There's
Unat,
teleports
buti
coming out.
maunat.
Whitemon also in position trying to protect Gabby.
Ay, walang tombstone.
Yeah, the Tomb very defensive, but helps guarantee the dive doesn't continue. And I mean, Gabby should be able to recover and get his Blink Dagger eventually, but if it comes later, I mean, that means OG dies less. T1 gets less response kills to the movements they want to make. And the last time they played this, they did have Grimstroke, so it made it a lot easier to get those follow-up kills. So DK playing behind and also not having Grimstroke, it's going to make the game a lot harder.
I mean, like we said, it's a bit of a snowbally lineup. They want to make sure that they're winning these lanes, and they're starting to slide behind a little bit. Cuckoo doing the best he can. I mean, the nice thing here about Cuckoo being in this top lane is he's had, you know, he's had 1 death, right? But they've just constantly been poking at him, but he has been getting the levels. That is the saving grace of what's going on in that off lane for them.
Yeah, that is true. He does have 20 last hits, but if you check out his net worth compared to the other cores, it's quite low. That's salves, that is other expenses as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got the levels. That's ultimately important on Brewmaster. If he can turn this into kills, be his team's fight that they need, yeah, it's absolutely going to be helpful here.
It's going to be very important that they can get at least something out of it, a bit of the consolation prize. But yeah, a lot of effort being placed down here to this bottom lane, trying to keep Gabby safe, trying to make sure that, you know, he can hit that blink timing at the appropriate moment.
I do love that Seb rotated though. Like they know that Cuckoo is mega dead, right? And Cuckoo can't really come up to the lane. He's in that weird situation where if he does, he gets harassed, loses HP, and then can't necessarily last hit as much. And so for that reason, they're like, well, you're fine by yourself. Send IO bottom.
Rotation coming in. They get the Inkswell though, so Carl rotating down here with the TP isn't going to be able to find anything unless they decide to stick around. We'll just turn his attention over to that small camp in the meanwhile, while BZM happily will continue to hit these creeps and starting to make his own movement.
Yep, both teams just realizing that it's better to contest this lane, but OG is doing the right thing and not overstaying.
Well, they don't know. They're not sure.
But
There's the Hex. Followed with the LSA. The Laguna. Can they finish him off? This IO doing a bit of work, but not quite enough. Does the tips get dropped? Seb now in for trouble. He's going to be the next one to fall. And Zephyr, they're These illusions are clicking away at him, but he will survive this ordeal.
Yeah, BZM tried to be tricky, run in the illusion first, hoping that Zephyr would hex it. But luckily they had this observer ward down. I think by the time he was in hex range, he already saw multiple storms, so he knew not to give up the game. He saw one storm, was like, all right, I'm gonna get balled. And when that guy jumps in, that's the one I hex. He instantly gets the hex off. That guarantees the kill. So super sick play from Zephyr there. Very needed.
All right, we saw the first dragon form getting popped in the bottom area, trying to take advantage of the little bit of space that Gabby had.
Oh man, great warding from T1. They just TP'd in Seb and BZM to the bot lane, but this observer ward in this weird place doesn't get caught by the sentry that Seb put down. It's just outside the range. Very, very cool.
Scan too, just to ensure they know exactly where everybody is hanging out.
Huge ward. Helps protect Gabby and get him a little bit closer towards that Blink Dagger.
Now, how concerned are we with the fact that the CK has been able to free farm the entire time?
It's definitely a problem. The hero is very solid in the patch. I thought it would be the carry of this tournament based on it being not nerfed very much and being so good with Grimstroke. Seemed like the hero in EU, but it does have some weaknesses, certainly. AoE control, they had to ban to protect it against Firestorm and Pit of Malice from the Underlord. Those skills are great. Ravage would have been pretty effective as well. The illusions kind of need to be alive. So if they have illusion solutions, it can be a big problem. And I'm not sure if this still works, but the Dispel on Storm Panda when Bruce splits does a lot of damage to illusions. I've used it before to kill PL illusions easily. I don't know if it works the same on CK's illusions because they're like strong illusions.
Right.
But if those can kill CK's illusions, that would be a really good counter from the T1 side. Lena's decent as well, lots of AoE. Hex from Shaman can take care of one of them, but yeah, AoE damage, once you kill the CK illusions, that mitigates a lot of it. But he's still great at these like little skirmish moments. And he's definitely going to be amplified well in a good way by Slardar.
All right, well, we have a smoke play coming out from BZM and Taiga. Assume that we will be seeing the Inkswell combo plus possibly a Phantom's Embrace. They are hunting. Get a little bit of vision up over here on the side. They've got plenty of vision coverage, actually, making sure that they can keep tabs over on that Tri-Camp. And Zephyr hiding in the tree line. So maybe the play over on Cuckoo. They see Zephyr, though. The question is, who are they going to go for first? They'll jump over after Zephyr go. They drop those Serpent Wards. They get the Soul Bind off on top. So you get the split off, though, and it's not looking great here for Seb. He is going to fall, and it's looking like Taiga. Oh, the rotation coming out from Carl as they'll chase down the Grimstroke. They'll be able to complete that as BZM. BZM. He's got a little bit of mana left. Perhaps he can get out of here in time, but they're probably going to hit this LSA right on the money. Follow up with just a nice kill. So T1 recognizing that they need to be in this area. The TP's coming out immediately. Very good reaction. Yeah, excellent counter rotation. They weren't able to get the silence off on Cuckoo. He gets split off, and that's basically why everyone dies. It buys them enough time for the Tomb to slow them, and then Undyne amplifies the damage on Storm once he's stunned with Flesh Golem. That was really, really well done by T1 to get some footing in this game. And they're ready to go for round 2 here. Taiga teleporting right over there immediately. They'll go drop that Chaos Bolt, the silence, get over onto Cuckoo. Let's slow him down just a bit. The high five coming out from Seb. Classic OG stuff, but they'll chase after Whitemon. Another silence being tossed out. They need to get there a little bit closer, though. Reality Rift, there's a Chaos Bolt. Seb's holding on to his friend here, his hand, and that's a double kill now for Yoragi, as they'll zip over, and they'll look to find themselves a Carl. Silence coming out, and another kill going over to the CK. Really good catch there. They are able to turn that amazing fight into another one. So good for OG. 4K gold advantage. So even though T1 had 2 really good skirmishes there against OG, it didn't really budge the net worth much, and then OG gets one good fight, and now they're blowing things out of the water. So great position for them. They're going to siege the tower a bit, but it's going to get defended. They're going to put Cuckoo up right in the front. This is time, though, as well for Gabby to get closer to that Blink Dagger, because that's a very important timing. You can see he's got his life plotted out here over on his quick buy. He's got the Blink Dagger, he's got the Ag Shard. He knows exactly what his job needs to be. So they're going to try to make as much space as possible, but on the flip side of that, Amar, this guy, he's got quite a bit of gold going on. The double bracer for damage and laning treads Mask of Madness. This is the build he goes basically every time. Once he gets Blink, which it looks like it's going to be about the same time as Dragonite, even though his net worth is already likely much higher. It is. He's got like 1,600 gold on top of Dragonite, so
Amar's had a great laning stage, and he'll be able to basically destroy these supports. He's the one hero on OG's side, other than like CK potentially jumping on. The support's really got to worry about because he's always going to jump in with a 3 bash prepped. He's going to bash you, he's going to ult you, he's going to stun you, and then by the time you're unstunned the second time, he's got another bash ready with the Mask of Madness. So tons of physical damage, and both of these supports are low armor. Even Lena's going to be vulnerable to this in the mid game when she hits her BKB timing. So Amar having a good game is definitely a big problem for T1.
Feels like a little bit of a pressure cooker looking at some of these heroes, right? Because you know at a certain point they're going to stop farming and they're just going to become a menace all over the map. But Blink Dagger is completed now for Gabby. Then T1 is going for the Roche play. It doesn't look like anyone is aware of it right now. So they've even dropped the Serpent wards. They're going to do their best. They have a nice ward on the outside just to prepare just in case.
It's so fast. I mean, Serpent wards are already good, and it's being amplified by Flesh Golem damage. 25% extra. So very easy Roche. That's one of the advantages of T1's lineup. OG can also Roche well, but they don't care. They're spread out. One thing I think is really interesting about the way OG's been playing is I've noticed Seb actually takes a lot of creeps as the 5 position. It is very common. I saw him doing this as Jakiro in some of the replays and matches they played. He goes and hits creeps and he gets items. It's not as common, but I think maybe what's happening potentially is they give Taiga more of the D-ward role at times. Or it could just be the Seb likes items, which I get. Items are fun. But he's already got a Holy Locket. He's aiming for a mech. Like, he played Jakiro one game. He just got Guardian Greaves. I haven't seen anybody buy Guardian Greaves in like a while.
Is this the greediest team, do you think, here at the Major at this point, with the way that like the gold distribution goes?
In some ways, Seb does up the average a little bit.
Yeah, because Amar's already like quite a greedy offlaner, and then you have your 2 cores, but then adding in Seb.
They like hitting creeps, but they're also definitely doing a good job of pressuring the map.
All right, speaking of pressuring the map, Dragon Form has been popped. They're going to start putting some pressure, but the mid tower is going to fall for the side of T1 as OG is going to start moving their way through this jungle.
Good moment. They get to delay all of T1 being top while not showing their heroes. They're going to have to stick around for the glyph. And almost BKB ready on Storm. They finally transfer to the Fairy Trinket. So triple no Fairy.
Naka-unbock nga nila yung laban nila sa EG kahapon. Baka T1 yan.
Great. Cuckoo is going for a Aeon Disc, actually. Not traditional build, but there is so much burst damage. He knows if he doesn't ulti, they lose the fight. So he's trying to guarantee it.
I mean, it's not ideal, right? Because you'd rather be getting something that's more aggressive, perhaps, but having that insurance policy to make sure that these fights always go, because you can't get any further behind. Not that they're like super far behind, but they definitely had difficulties during the laning phase. So if you can ensure that you can stabilize this mid game, it makes a big difference. But we do have an Orchid pickup now for the CK. Just completed.
Oh, okay, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting adjustment, but you know, it's usually that or Shadowblade or BKB.
Going right over, they're gonna see Seb. Gabby blinking forward. Find themselves Taiga, try to get rid of that extra stun if possible. Throw down the Hex, throw down the wards, and throw a little Laguna Blade into his face.
Not the worst. I mean, they lose their tier 1, but they've got Aegis on the enemy squad, so it's not like OG necessarily wants to fight this anyways. But once they do feel comfortable engaging, I mean, having Orchid on Chaos Knight is definitely going to help a lot. Again, for those supports, you could either use it on Cuckoo the Brewmaster, until his Aeon Disc procs, that is. Use against Undying to get kills, basically hit backline, jump in, be aggressive. Whoever he chooses to go on is likely to die.
This is another thing that I really like about the T1 lineup, and I've seen them do this before, is that, you know, Gabby is kind of the person to jump forward, get in there. Cuckoo will be in there eventually as well. But now, you know, Zephyr has picked up the Blink Dagger. So, like, this chain reaction of just instant initiation and then the follow-up that can come out from their team is going to be very, very scary for OG. But in this case, who's going to get the jump first? There's going to be Amar showing off the blink. Jump forward, though. Zip 4, drag back over onto Whitemon. We got the silence, a decent amount of damage. Not going to be able to keep him alive. He's going to fall as they did get the split up over onto Cuckoo. BZM showing off that BKB. But that appears to be the worst of the damage right now coming out from OG, and they only lost Whitemon.
Yeah, it seemed fine. I mean, it looked like BZM was in a lot of trouble, but props BKB at the perfect timing when the Light Strike array is coming. And yeah, Bruce Split gets used. They're not unhappy about that. I mean, there's an Aegis on the enemy team. They use BKBs. Their enemies use Bruce Split. Ultimately fine. It looked a little bit hairy. Amar guessed a little bit wrong on location, but with Storm, yeah, you get a guaranteed kill. And they're going to put all the minus armor there on Undying, basically blow him up. And once you kill the Fire Panda, that's usually about half of the damage that Bruce Split does anyway. So once that was killed, there's really not much of a threat from T1 for the rest of the fight. So good little in and out to put Brew Split on cooldown, and we'll see if they find another fight when BKB's off cooldown for Storm, because they'll have a little window here.
EZM doing some casual jungling, but looks like it's still going to be a while because they picked up that Aeon disc for the Brew. Not going to have that Ag Scepter super quickly by any means.
Storm thinking about getting the shard here. It's got it queued up. I had to highlight it there. It's going to increase the damage that everybody does on OG in these short moments. It does do magic damage, so it's not the most incredible thing with all this minus armor, but hey, if everyone's right-clicking anyways, it's a good way to up the damage temporarily and help burst some of these heroes.
Yeah, Lina does already have that BKB completed, but it's still going to be a little bit of time before Gabby has that in his inventory, so they've got a nice window to work with here over on the side of OG. But the more pressure is being placed down over on the tower, they'll drop the Serpent Wards, still have that Aegis for a little bit longer.
Ooh,
It's about to go down, though.
Yeah, they glyph it, hoping that would be enough, but them trading their glyph back to it with the wards down, yeah, I don't think OG was prepared to necessarily defend this. They're smoking and running over, but I think it's going to be close. Creep wave, it did finally fall. Gabby's going to tap it a bit. Can Yuragi find the right go? They don't have Brew Split for 12 seconds.
Good go. All right, they jump a little bit deeper in. They see the Lina, but immediately those BKBs come out. EZM popping his own. Nice LSA over onto the Soulbind will connect. Zep is going to fall. Zephyr already down. They're sitting very low. Amar trying to get over to Carl. He just can't seem to do it. He's getting kited way too hard. Nice Inkswell, though, coming out. Will be able to slow down. Can they finish off Whitemon? No, they can't. Taiga trying to run away. He cannot run from Gabby as he blinks forward, tries to go after BZM, and they just cannot seem to get their footing here over on the side of OG. Only Storm will survive.
T1 is just so good. Like they seem behind you and you're like, oh, they're behind a network. Surely this isn't going to go well, but they just cast their spells so freaking well. Like that initiation reaction was so quick. There was no BKB obviously on Slardar, but look how fast this Hex came out. He gets one bash out, doesn't even get his ulti off, and he instantly gets Hex. The tomb goes down, the AoE damage. That was a huge light strike away from Lina actually. Maybe Seb making too much of a mistake there. Doesn't get his holy lock it off. Then the Aeon Disc procs. Then his ultimate's finally off cooldown. And they're just sitting here on Storm with a double damage hitting a tombstone. That does not feel good. So they get crushed in the team fight and they just offset a lot of the network difference in this game.
Yeah, it almost looked like they might have been able to keep Yuragi alive there because they did have the Inkswell. They have the shard now over on the Grimstroke. And you saw how much he healed in that fight. But just, yeah, no. Just the instant reactions coming out and the way that they positioned themselves, they knew that it was coming.
Yeah,
you saw the way that they were set up.
They perfectly reacted to it. Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Only way that maybe goes better is if you Inkswell in Storm, who pops BKB right away, because then there's no counter reaction from Shaman. Maybe the follow-up would be stronger because Slardar didn't do his combo. He basically did a bash to the deep, and that was it. So it was a 1.3 second stun with an Inkswell follow-up to start the fight. Well, if he gets Slither and Crush off, then Dragon Knight actually gets stunned, or who was it? It was Lina. The second stun lands, but because they interrupted the combo, BKB on Lina comes out, and that initiation basically was wasted for OG. So it was that Shaman reaction that was so quick from Zephyr, those quick fingers with the Hex, that's what won them the fight, basically, with the follow-up stuff.
Beautifully executed. Carl is going to be able to go grab himself a double damage rune, and T1 feels like they've recovered very nicely at this point.
The itemization that was just being pointed out, the AC coming for the Lina, very weird item. Attack speed on this hero, not very good, because you already get so much from Fiery Soul, but he needs armor, and this is going to give 5 armor to everyone on his team as well. And they had the Vlads on the Undying, who bought it over Cuckoo. That's 3 armor to the squad. So if they stand together as a squad, 8 armor to everybody, which is excellent against CK, excellent against Slardar. So this is starting to become a little bit scary. With that said, they're not going to have as much damage on Lina, because he doesn't have like a Silver Edge or something. But in terms of their raw survivability against the OG lineup, these are the right items to buy.
8 extra armor. That's not a team, that's a tank.
Yeah.
And they're just rolling down your lanes.
You know, you make fun of me for how much I say buy plate mail, but this is a really good plate mail game, so I really like that T1's identifying that.
I only make fun of you for it because we were doing that Death Prophet game, and you wouldn't stop. Every time she's like, Death Prophet died here, and you know what would have saved her,
A plate mail makes a big difference. It's basically if you buy plate mail, you have 60% more HP against physical sources.
Yes.
For 1,400 gold.
It is a good item. No,
so if you have 2,000 health, buying a plate mail, that's a 1,200 HP item.
Yes.
It's mega good.
Yes, it is very good. But the players can't hear you every time that you say this.
I'm just trying to tell people that I'm right. Okay, very important.
Purchase plate mail, you know, get a
It's a great play mail game.
5-man
It's even
smoke.
better against minus armor
Let's see
guys.
kung
And
may
that's why
mapipitat.
it's so good
Meron
this
yata
game.
ang dalawa sa taas.
Double damage rune has been popped over here on Carl. They're
Okay.
hunting.
Grimstroke at
They're
saka CK.
hungry.
Ay.
They're looking for whatever they can get. And Taiga
Ayun
is
na.
hiding in this
Like
relay. Gabby blinking
Oy,
forward. Oh,
nakita.
Taiga, you
Nice.
are going to be the sacrifice here. But it's going to allow BZM to survive. So that is, you know, sometimes the job as a support.
Yeah, they're just fishing for an easy kill, potentially, but not going to find it and losing a support. It happens.
Yo, hello,
Roche is up and
SP.
it's got a shard.
De La Cruz.
Everybody can use a shard. DK's already got his, I
Hirap
know.
sa anin yung pangalan, tol.
The
Welcome,
Grandmaster
welcome.
Shard can be pretty good this game, actually.
Welcome, bro,
It's
welcome,
an
welcome,
AoE
bro.
disarm. Only 2.5 seconds, but against
De La Cruz
CK,
yung SP,
or CK
bale,
ulti,
basta.
being able to disarm
Welcome,
for
welcome.
2.5 is a huge amount. Don't really
Shaman
see
Wars,
Undying.
too, would be
Yeah,
kinda
probably Shaman gets it most
Let's
likely.
push out waves too, yeah.
Definitely not Lena's. That
Oh,
one's not
God.
so good. So yeah, probably
Please,
probably
Ice Bar.
Shaman, but
Thank you
secondary
for
would be great.
subscribing, tol. Thank you.
And he is going back for Ags now on Brew. Now that he's got the Andis to secure his survivability. Good choice.
God, all I want is a halfway decent shard for Lena, please.
Got to get nerfed too much more.
We've got the stats about your armor there, friend.
Incredible estimated hit points. What is the line? Line HP, interesting. That's a typo. Huge mistake from the observer. Huge mistake. Oh, here comes the fight.
There it is. Yep, it's breaking out. It's Royalty Rift right back over to Whitemon. They're going to blow him up instantly, but they've already lost Taiga here. They got the soul bind off. Good heal coming out from Seb. Will be able to keep Amar alive a little bit longer, but the split's been used. Cuckoo hunting, going to be able to throw out the raw. Has the BKB, though. Mar turning back around, wants to get rid of some of these pandas, but already got that Aegis online here for Lena. They only lost Whitemon again.
Okay, well, Shard goes to Shaman. Not exactly what OG wanted, but they didn't lose anybody. Seb's great heal to keep Amar alive was really helpful, but that was his BKB reveal on Slardar. What he needed in that top tier 2 fight, certainly.
Okay, Cuckoo. Gabby jumping forward. Look at this chain gun with all the fire everywhere, just bursting away. Over on Rogi. Seb cannot out-heal that. It's going to fall, and the drag back, though, over on the side. Looks like they'll be able to go. They pop the Aegis. Aeon just does get popped over here on Cuckoo's. Gabby's continuing to click over onto BZM, who's just teleported out. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Turn their attention over onto Taiga. They've got plenty of stun, plenty of damage. This tower belonging to the side of T1. Should they want to go back in, but looks like they'll back off for a moment. It's a double damage rune available.
Seb definitely underperforming in that fight, unfortunately. He did not relocate out the Chaos Knight. He was even hiding in the trees, so I thought he'd go for it. Thought he would be survivable enough, but didn't save CK. Ends up trying to pop it to save Grimstroke there. That also did not work. So not necessarily the reason they're losing, but the fight's going a little bit worse is going to be on his back in that engagement at least. So some of that sloppiness with their roster issue is going to hurt him here.
I'm surprised that BZM felt comfortable enough to just go zipping past just because he did have the Dragon Knight nearby. That felt a little risky, but perhaps.
Yeah, he was a little slow to do his second ball from my perspective. But, oh, is that a second plate mail on Lena, guys? Oh my God. So much armor. Look at that. That Lena's got, let's do some math quick. What was that, 26? That was power armor. 70. No one cares about the percentage. That's confusing. I mean, yeah, he's reducing 70% of the physical damage he takes, but he's got 44 armor when he's near the AC. Alina with 44 armor, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. That's literally, these core heroes, that's their weakness, is armor typically, so should be every game.
I wish you guys could see Purge right now. He is like so happy. He's like, oh my God, he's loosened his tie a little bit.
I took my shirt off, I'm swinging it around my head. Just so excited.
This is his new favorite game.
Now he's
Carl's his new favorite player.
Yep. He gets the mechanics.
All right, well, about 27 minutes in, we have another smoke coming out from T1. They're going to just push down this mid wave and go fishing, see what they can find.
OG can definitely still win fights, though. T1's just executing so well.
Oh,
they just don't want to play against
He
them.
thought about, oh, look at Gabby. He's like, let me at him.
Just in case he had an opportunity. It was there, maybe. Taiga just kind of cheesing out the top lane from trees with Stroke of Fate. It's a great way to pressure the tower without putting himself in danger too much, while still getting net worth. He can do it a little safer over some of his allies.
There you go, Purge. There's
6,000 HP with the line HP. Really incredible. 6,000 line HP. The guy's got 2k HP, but he's got 6,000 physical survivability. It's
ridiculous, actually.
It's ridiculous, right? Yeah. Now, if he buys an HP item, that number is going to go even higher.
Yes, that's how math works.
It is, but it's like, you know, it's like multiplicative or whatever.
Yeah.
It gets Don't say exponentials.
No, JJ will be
hates
very
that word.
upset with you.
It's not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He's got too many math degrees. That's why he gets upset about it.
All right. Well, OG continuing to play this cat and mouse game. Oh, ooh.
You know, that's a nice gimme. Just the free on this proc.
That is nice.
Nice little surprise there. But still, T1 in a good spot. Based on the momentum, I feel like they're very much in the lead. Net worth lies and says that's not true. And OG, the way they're playing is also they feel very, very scared right now. And they probably should because, you know, their net worth is fine, but Lena's getting out of control. Huge net worth. That's not even an armor joke. Legitimately, Lena's net worth is just way higher than everybody else's.
She's in a mech at this point. Let's be really honest.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
She's Iron Man, actually.
Yeah, she does have that chest piece.
Iron Woman. Oh, God, does he have it?
I don't know. Does he?
No, he does not. Damn, that's too bad.
Missed opportunity. That's fine.
Iron Woman, dude.
That's fine.
She's very, very farmed.
All right. Well, they're still making their way across the map here. Over on the side of OG. Gonna go up over to the high ground. Hope that they try to, you know, get a little cheeky. But that smoke is indeed run out. They're just gonna go farm up, and T1 just kind of dodging for now. I feel like they're waiting for maybe the next Aegis that'll be coming up or whatnot. Taking their time a little bit, and not trying to play into the hands of OG.
Yeah, they got to be a little careful. BZM doing the typical Storm thing, cutting creep waves still. They're just sitting together because they know that if the fight happens, T1's all going to be together. So got to be careful they don't take a disadvantageous team fight.
Yeah, Dying's going to have the Wraith packed soon. Taking a look at items. DK's going for that Aghanim Scepter.
Amar is in a pretty good spot right now, though. 6-2-0. BKB's got a Hyperstone, so his attack speed is insanely high. If he does get the chance to hit heroes, they're really vulnerable.
Look at BZM's build at 30 minutes in.
Oh,
hold that thought. There's the drag
idea.
back, the silence, and a dead Brewmaster. So very good patience there. So everybody else is going to teleport away, except for Zephyr. Zephyr is going to end up falling as well.
I think T1 really just psyched themselves out there, thinking that OG wasn't in the area or something. Because they just sat behind trees for so long there, and then Cuckoo hitting tower when his Aeon Disc was on cooldown for 20 seconds was pretty dangerous, especially because he was the only one.
Right.
I think they thought like, oh, I'll be survivable. I'm going to use Cinder Brew and I'll have Drunken Brawler on. He had a lot of armor and magic resistance, but that's 5 OG heroes jumping on him. It's not going to be enough, actually. No. Usually it is, because you can get insane armor, 21 armor from using Cinder Brew, but yeah, they've got too much damage. It triples. It's very cool.
Well, we've completed more. Well, we've got the armor completed now for Carl. He does have that Shiva's Guard online, so a lot of survivability there, plenty of damage. I just think it's really funny to watch these Storm players now, and it's just all null talismans, maybe a BKB and a Fairy Fire. That's exactly what
it is. It is weird. I mean, he had power treads before. He
switched out the BKB and he got himself the Lincolns. All right, all right.
That's very interesting item build, I gotta say.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Is it math facts or armor facts?
7,000
armor math facts?
Estimated hit points. And Shiva's is really good this game anyways. Don't forget it lowers attack speed. What? No, he's just scouting, that's all. And it's going to lower the healing of the enemy by 25%. He's against a CK and an IO. Very good item regardless. So kind of perfect.
Gabby. Ooh, pops the Lincolns. It doesn't matter. Goes right and drops the fireball. Look at a blade to the face, and BZM is not going to be able to continue to do these little cheeky moves that he's been doing. Not for a little bit now.
And that's why I bought the Lincolns, because if he's just got BKB there, he dies. So Lincolns, the halberd comes out just in time.
He still died, but...
You know, I'm saying, but you know, Gabby,
yes.
You're right. I should have worded that differently. Gabby got the halberd, breaks the Lincolns with that, and yeah, that's the solution. They did not get the wonder item, the Fey Grenade, the Lincoln's Breaker, the Destroyer 5,000 net worth. So yeah, he had to actually get an item solution against it. So very deserved death on Storm in that case.
Still a very good item as the bottom tier 2 will fall. And Cuckoo leading the charge, and here still has another charge over on that split. He's got the Aeon Disc up. Gabby seeing an opening over on Taiga is going to just immediately pounce upon him and remove him from this fight. They do have buyback though on the Grimstroke. He is going to use that. Serpent Ward's getting used though over here on the buildings. Carl continuing to whack away here with Cuckoo. The jump forward from Amar, but they turn back around. Soulbind will get applied, but there's a lot of bashes going on, but it's not enough to keep them alive here. We will end up losing Yuragi over overall in the back. Amar, he's trying everything. He just gets kited too hard. He doesn't have enough to survive that. As now Yuragi will buy back.
Lina tanked the shit out of that Slardar. Did you guys see that? Legitimately. Tanked the shit out of that Slardar with 2,000 health. Incredible. That's why knowing mechanics is a life skill, guys. Very important. Look at this shit. Goes on him. All right, his ulti got removed, so he did have to reapply it. But look how much damage he's doing. It looks pathetic. Those bashes come out. You guys are used to meaty bashes. We've all seen it.
God, Seb trying so hard to keep Amar alive there. They use this Inkswell on top of it, trying to get the heal.
Yeah.
And Carl's just like, yeah, no, that's cute.
Tanked him. Just tanked him. BKB removed the amp damage. That's kind of what hurt him the most, because that would have been minus 24 armor. That would have gave increased his damage a lot, but man, that itemization absolutely solved this problem.
Yeah. Agnum Scepter completed now for Gabby. BZM gonna snap up the double damage rune. Guess doesn't want that to fall into the hands of his opponents, but yeah, the Carl is just
He's owning.
flying off here.
Is why they picked Alina in the first phase. He's just so confident on the hero.
And there we go. They're just like, okay, all right, they're gonna go after Whitemon again, but they don't manage to finish him off. He's got that Essence ring.
He did blast the illusions.
Did indeed, as they'll turn around. Oh, Yuragi, he just popped back. He can't afford to die here, Seb. Okay, coming in, clutch, making sure that he can get him out.
All right, they're TPing back. They're going to try to help defend the Wisp. Or contest Roche.
I don't think they can. Look how fast this thing is melting. Look at Gabby. Look at his positioning. All right, Mar. The smoke pops, though. Gabby waiting patiently, immediately stunning up. Holding out. Drop the fireball. Seb doing his duty, trying to keep him alive. And this time he just cannot do it fast enough. They jump forward. They drop the serpent wards. They'll take out Seb. There's no heal here. BZM, he's popped the BKB. He's trying to get some damage out, trying to do whatever he can. They'll chase after Zephyr. They'll be able to take him down. The X-Flow, though, coming out beautifully done. We'll hit on multiples. Carl will fall. They need to get a little bit more damage over onto BZM. Will they be able to do it? The jump over from Gabby. They find a Cuckoo. He's ticking down. He's going to be careful. They turn back around. All right, they'll get the kill, but they'll go in after Yuragi. A couple of hits. He will fall eventually. Gabby, the Dragon Knight, is chasing after them. Pop back over Zephyr. Zephyr is back, and they've got them stuck over on top of this line, but the drag back over onto the DK will be enough to take out Gabby. That's a monster kill streak ended. Cuckoo going back in, turning back around. He's trying to do whatever he can, but he's silenced up. He's going to start being hit here by Amar. Amar's just bashing him to death, though. Get the kill. Zephyr using those spider legs to run for his life. This Roche is now open for OG, and BZM and Amar will be more than happy to help themselves.
We got to look at the fight recap in that fight. That was a lot of shit. Look at all those. Everyone died. Literally everyone died that fight. Storm buys back, comes into the fight, really helps clean it up. It looked catastrophic for OG towards the end, but Amar gets back, BZM buys back and shows up with that huge ball, and they're able to finish the Dragon Knight. And you know what the key was, guys? The BKB ended on Lina, and they just killed her with magic damage. That's what happened. It ran out, and all of a sudden, like, Inkswell popped, and it looked good for OG when Storm had finally, once they finally killed her, it changes things in a big way.
Dude, that Inkswell, though, hitting over onto 3. Oh my gosh.
That was a big one.
That was huge.
Yeah, it really was. I thought Amar made a big mistake initially. When he got to the high ground, the Inkswell did remove the stun on him, and in that short moment, he didn't pop BKB, and I was like, man, he's just dead now. But he buys back, comes back into the fight, still with his BKB, and he's able to use that to guarantee the Cuckoo kill. So it did end up working out nicely for them. But they're down by 3K now, but they got some free items, right?
Yeah.
Refresher Shard, there was no Ags, I'm guessing then, huh? So.
Nah, Storm's gonna have to be a big boy and buy it himself.
Still good, though. They got the Aegis. They got some net worth. They got a cheese on somebody.
Yeah, it's over on Amar, I believe, has the cheese.
Amar put it in his pocket without not even a container. It's disgusting.
Pocket cheese?
It's gonna have lint on it.
I feel like that's something Slacks or Jenkins would do. Just have some
Yeah,
no, actually, Jenkins has done pocket cheese.
Yep.
You've gotten cheese by Jenkins before. It's not fun. All right, let's look at this recap.
Watch his stun go away briefly here. Doesn't pop BKB. I was like, oh, maybe a mistake. But ultimately, they jump in. It looks crazy. The fights are so chaotic here. BZM doing some good damage. Carl hasn't popped BKB just yet. Zephyr gets killed. Oh, that's actually what happened. He didn't even get BKB off. He got pulled into a stun by Yuragi and instantly got stunned. I don't know if it was Inkswell or what, but he got caught in that. That was a big snag there by OG. And then Gabby, you know, Ty got no mana in the live game.
Okay, all right. They go and they find Yuragi again. They go and just look at this heal coming out from Seb. It's not going to be enough. He's going to fall. And now Seb, he's going to get left behind by everyone. No buyback over here. Zephyr blinking forward. Finds himself tied. He gets the shackles up.
Let's go, T1.
First down.
Grabe,
My
T1,
God.
Master.
And we still have a Panda. He's
Let's
hunting.
go, T1.
I'm going to just see BZM trying to clear through here.
Tingnan
He
mo.
does
Zip
get
the
the
action.
creep away.
Report.
There's still 3, though. They're glyphing it. Glyphed back. They got to kill this creep wave and then defend for 20 seconds. They're pinging bot creep wave as well. That also needs to be pushed out. But all their lane pushers, it's basically just Storm right now. And
doesn't have the axe
the
completed,
creep
but
is
it's
still
really
alive. This
Oh, they're
is
going
to die.
They're just going in for it.
He didn't kill it. It's still alive.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, they can kill Rax now. Alright,
Amar jumping over onto Carl.
mali yan,
Immediately,
kapatid.
though, just going to try to
Mali,
Gabby, blinking 4 turns back around. They get the kill over onto Seb.
Nako, mali yan, kapatid.
Taking a little spin in the neighborhood, my friend. Drag back, though, coming out from BZM. He's going to try to slow them down, try to get them to focus on something else. As they do manage to take down
Doing good.
Carl. There's now the turn back
Alright, backdoor.
around. They get
It's
White
backdoor,
Mon. They're just
backdoor.
trying to buy a little bit more time. And they're doing it on the side of OG. They are protecting it.
Okay,
They
okay.
have to take down these
Sayang,
wards, though.
sayang.
Gabby's still here as well.
Kaya nga, sakto eh.
The next creep
Look,
wave is
look at
here,
those
but
serpent wards. They still managed to
Galing,
take it.
galing. Grabe.
that was really close.
Sayang, muti ka na. Hello, game to na
10
tayo
to
eh.
20 seconds somewhere in there.
Hello, game
So
to na
they
eh.
needed to
Wala
kill
pa,
that
wala pa.
creep and
Relax
then
lang,
buy
boys.
20 seconds that they didn't force it down. And between Amar jumping in and the Storm Spirit, they were able to not only defend for that time, but also get the important kills. The
Got a
clean up
spell
Lina.
prism now over on Storm on top of. All right,
That's
you
a
know
great
they're
one.
Sakit na
holding.
rin yun.
They're
Kaya
holding.
pala
It's
yan
been
eh.
hairy. It's been
Medyo
very,
mag-iingat na yan,
very
next flash.
stressful, I'm sure, for the side of OG.
He also he bought an
Yeah,
Aiden
pressure
Axe
shard
too,
sa
so
Ag
that he
Storm,
could have an
sabi
extra
ni
null
Boss Jerome.
talisman in his inventory.
What
Hindi
is
nila
this meta? What is
It-
Dota 2 right now?
Well, he just balled all the way down there, and it only cost him
Grabe yung
700
pickings
mana.
nila dito,
So
no?
it's
Talagang
kind of
malalaman
insane still.
mo.
It is
IQ nila.
insane. Yes.
I gotta say, when I read the patch notes,
Yo,
and I
salamat sa
realized that
subs. Thank you for
this
the
didn't
subs,
stack
man.
diminishingly, I was
Appreciate
like,
it.
what?
Thank you.
Obviously, that's gonna be wrong. It was wrong. Well, they had to fix it.
How
It
do
was
you
too
feel
strong.
about the idea of him getting a Revenant Brooch? Because that is
Revenant
currently
Brooch.
Giving it up.
He's thinking
Yeah,
about it.
There are some
Pwede
storms
rin-
that did this
pwede
build that
brooch.
they liked getting the
Kaya
Witch
right-
Blade.
parang
I'm not
right back.
entirely sure. Probably for the
Para
general
masustain
attack
lalo
speed that you
sila.
kind of missed out on. If you don't have good attack speed, you can't, even if you have infinite mana, you still have to ball then attack. And that slow attack sometimes means that even if your mana is infinite, you can't continue to ball faster. So the attack speed's good. It's a way to increase your damage. You already have a lot of
Alright,
anyways.
relax,
And
boys,
it's a pretty
relax.
expensive item. I would normally say overly expensive, almost never that great. But against the Lina, if you can make
It's
all of
okay,
your
it's
physical
okay. You
damage
can live.
magical, and she doesn't have BKB, now you can flame Carl for having 3 sets of armor, basically.
Bottom tower.
Too many plate mails. Way too many plate mails, Mox.
I never thought you'd ever say that, Purge. I've never in my wildest dreams thought that you would say there's too much plate
Me
mail.
neither. We all learn every day.
Yeah. It's good to be open to new experiences. BZM over here on the side. Not detected, though. I think that's a ward.
Looking for their
actually.
initiation.
Yeah,
It
they
gets
look for the
broken.
opening. Okay, Cuckoo. Considering it, goes for the split. The blink forward coming out from Gabby over the BKB immediately. Blow up Taiga. Now their attention is turning over onto Amar, onto Seb. Yuragi over on the back lines here. They're just hiding. There's so much damage coming out from the side of T1 as Seb does fall. BZM zipping around. Dice Vortex coming in. Will be able to take down Whitemon. But
na
now
naman.
Cuckoo and
Wala na,
Carl,
walang
they're
buyback
trying.
to.
They're just hiding Carl left and
Wala
right.
nang buyback, wala
A
nang
little bit
buyback.
scary now
Taiga
as they
bought back.
follow after Taiga. Yes, they did indeed. He's gonna have to run.
Nice
Drops
one,
the,
nice
yeah, they
one.
dropped the sentry
Well
over
played,
onto the
T1.
side, not guessing the correct spot. But they're
Stand up.
still hunting. They're
Mega
looking. They know
skip.
he's gotta be somewhere down here dropping the
Tama
center
na,
brew.
pre.
Oh, there he is. He's got the
Taiga.
He's trying. He's trying to buy some time, trying to make them chase him, trying to make it worth it. But Gabby and Cuckoo will
Lista
just
na to,
help
lista na to, mga
themselves
sir.
and murder Taiga.
At least
Game
we bought
one.
some more time there. That was a really nice escape using the
Game one,
Trickster
T1
cloak,
to. Game one,
got
T1
him
na.
away from his
Lista na,
opponents,
lista na.
but they knew all the places to hide. They found it. He's gonna try to get a solo kill.
Oops,
Okay,
oops.
all right. Well, that is that Aeon just getting popped over onto Zephyr, turn
Nice
back around,
one.
gets the hold off. Are they going to try to
Ganun,
burst that
ganun,
target? This
si
can
Kate.
this actually be happening? Do they
Ganun.
turn this around? Yes, they do.
Well played.
They managed to
Played
kill
T1.
off Yuragi. He does have buyback this time.
I don't think they thought he still had Aeon Disc. I mean, this is an old one. It's at 4 cooldown already, so I think they assumed it had popped in the fight or something. But the way Zephyr played that engagement, he got to the right side next to the tree, and he separated the IO completely. Committed ulti, chain disabled him. That's why the fight got so hard for OG. They got to delay it
Oh, they
again.
poured it. They poured it. They know. Go for the Vortex pull back. Yuragi's here. Tries to get the draw back over onto Carl. But, ooh, the hit's coming out. Gabby chasing after him. They want to remove Yuragi. They know that if they can get rid of Yuragi, things open up so much
Throne's
more for them.
low.
They go. They drop the Hex Combat. They call the GG.
Wala na, GG
They
na.
knew it was over at this point.
Yes,
And
sir.
T1
T1,
will make sure
let's
that
go,
they can
T1.
clutch out this thing.